The Republican Party is filled with phonies and frauds. Personal phonies and frauds. Individual phonies and frauds. But also their ideas are phony and fraudulent. And I talked about the Steve Bannon thing and the normalization that's taking place of these dangerous, harmful, anti-democratic ideas. But that normalization is also taking place with people like JD Vance. And it's a push and a pull. It's tension and release between the phony and fraud thing to draw in an audience and supporters to an idea and then sell them on the more pernicious idea once they're inside. I think that's an accurate way of describing what's taking place. I have two clips of JD Vance yesterday. And one is the phony fraud thing. And then the other is the normalization. So the right for a long time has been talking about traditional masculinity. That we're losing it. We're losing it. People aren't allowed to be masculine anymore. And listen, as someone who, I guess traditionally masculine, 6'3", 240 pounds, United States Marine, physically capable. JD Vance isn't a messenger. You think he is, conservatives. If you're taking lessons on traditional masculinity from the guyliner guy, you're missing the mark. He is a soft-skinned, smooth-brained rube. He's not your masculine hero, and neither is Tucker Carlson or Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles. Who's the other racist anti-trans dipshit? The guy who covers up his lack of a chin with a beard. Matt Walsh. These people are not they don't represent the hierarchy of traditional masculinity. They're just weak. Anyway, here is JD Vance preaching traditional masculinity to try to draw the crowd in of disaffected young men who feel unheard or like they're being victimized because other people are finally getting some rights and some representation in government. And it's not just all about white, straight men. But their inherent weakness makes them feel attacked. They're not secure in who they are, in their masculinity, in their personhood. So they retreat to group together because there's strength with cowards in numbers. Watch JD Vance, the new representative of masculinity.
I think that our culture sends a message to young men that you should suppress every masculine urge. You should try to cast aside your family. You should try to suppress what makes you a young man in the first place. And I think that my message to young men is don't allow this broken culture to send you a message that you're a bad person because you're a man, because you like to tell a joke, because you like to have a beer with your friends, or because you're competitive. It's... Our message, the cultural message, and I think the president's and mine is the exact opposite, but our cultural message is, I think that it wants to turn everybody, into, whether male or female, into androgynous idiots who think the same, talk the same, and act the same. We actually think God made male and female for a purpose, and we want you guys to thrive as young men and as young women, and we're going to help with our public policy to make it possible to do that.
Don't you just get hyper-masculine vibes from our vice president? Deeply man. What is this about suppressing masculine urges? What urges are you talking about other than drinking a beer and laughing at jokes? It is weakness to feel attacked because others are being represented in our government, in our society, and our culture. JD Vance. It is weakness. It is cowardice. When you are truly a self-actualized adult will talk in your terms about masculinity, if you're truly a masculine man, it comes with it freedom. There's liberation in true masculinity. Because I don't care whether someone, when I wear my bright pink sport coat, I don't give a single fiddling fuck if someone, oh, you're wearing pink, you're gay, you're a lady. Okay. Do I also care about what an anthill thinks about me? No, I do not. Insects. I have no concern for the thoughts of the little people. And if you are so weak to think that the color I wear indicates something about me other than I like that color, you're weak. And it shows your weakness, JD Vance. And the army of absolute just cowardice that you're trying to recruit into the movement. So this phony fraud bullshit plays into the thing so they can draw them into other more pernicious messages, which is, he gets to it, talking about protecting Western civilization, which for generations has been a dog whistle, a coded language to talk about white people. When you hear people talk about Western civilization, like Steve King, the racist congressman from Iowa used to, he's talking about white people. JD Vance takes it a step further and talks about European culture and European history. This is about white people. The Trump administration wants to set its attention to protecting white people, to getting rid of black and brown folks and gay folks and undesirables. They're eating the pets, they're eating the cats and dogs. And then allowing white South Africans to come here because they're being oppressed or persecuted and to give them refugee status. Watch JD Vance draw the crowd in like you just watched, and then sell them on a dangerous, pernicious message of white supremacy.
Cannot rebuild Western civilization. We cannot rebuild the United States of America or Europe by letting millions and millions of unvetted illegal migrants come into our country. It has to stop. Thank God it stopped here, but it's got to stop there. And a related issue, Mercedes, is you can't just stop it. You have to allow European peoples, and of course the American people too, to raise issues about it. Right. You have to allow free speech to debate this stuff. You have to stop doing things to the populations of the world. You've got to give the populations of the world the opportunity to speak up and say, no more of this BS. We want borders. We want sovereignty. We want to be able to speak our own mind in our own country.
Let me read the quote in the language that he's not quite using. We cannot rebuild Western civilization filled with white people. We cannot rebuild the United States or white Europe, white United States, by letting millions and millions of unvetted brown people come into our country. That's what he's saying. He wouldn't use, what are we rebuilding with Western civilization? What are you rebuilding? What needs to be rebuilt, JD Vance? You've got brown children. Your wife is brown. You think they're going to be spared from the onslaught, the horde of fucking Nazis who will come to make sure your message and your policy agenda is put into place? You think they will be spared? You think you will be spared, you race traitor? According to them, obviously. Not according to me. You will not be spared, JD Vance. You fat-faced, makeup-wearing puke. You will not be spared, Vice President of the United States. What happened to the last Vice President of the United States under Donald Trump? Hang Mike Pence. While a hangman's gallows sat on the lawn of the Capitol awaiting him to be brought there and hung. If you think you're going to be any fucking different, JD Vance, you need to check yourself. Western civilization will not save you. Certainly your masculinity will not save you. JD Vance, nor will it save Elon Musk, nor will it save the fat and Big Mac sauce blood Donald Trump. None of these people. Stephen Miller, pick one of them. What do you think? Last video of the day. I'm going to go take a weekend-long nap. No, I won't. I'll probably be working tomorrow too. What do you think? Comment below. You can call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. Once again, less quickly, 714-576-4054. You can email me daily@dollemore.com. I do want to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work, even when it's emotional. Click the join button below for $1.99. You can support this work and this channel and the content that we produce. I would appreciate it very much. You can also do the same thing over on Patreon, patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I'm on social media. If you don't get enough of me in these videos, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them a day. If you don't get enough, I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. I'd love to see you there. I will see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another, not just the white ones. See you next time.